We just got to talk to Ty for the first time. What has been your experience with him, just sort of watching him from the day he got here, and what he looked like then and what he looks like now?
Well, it was a whirlwind for him. I mean, getting here and getting everything done with him the first day so he could travel with us to go to Brooklyn. But he hit the ground running. And he's working hard. He's getting better. He's getting in better shape. He's a physical presence. It's helping us in practice a lot. He's been able to push our other big guys to a physical limit. He's done some nice things. He's trying to pick things up. When you're 3 months in to when he got here, it's hard to play catch up, but he's trying.
Count mentioned there are some times where you guys will look at each other as a staff and say, we got to put him in there because he does some things like maybe in spurts that really impress you. How do you balance that, when to throw him out there, not too soon or whatever, not in too big a situation?
I think more it's when we have a comfort level that he can go in and do the things that we need him to do without minimizing what we're trying to do within the flow of the game. And then I think there'll be certain matchups that'll be better for him, like with Isaac as well, a big, strong, physical player. But he has made us a better screening team because of what he does. He sets terrific screens. Our players like it because he's getting them open, and that's been a big point for us here lately.
From an X's and O's standpoint, what did you do at Alabama that you weren't able to do at LSU?
Well, I think a big thing with that, John, is that we set better screens. I know that it was out there that they were double teaming our guards and whatnot, but we set screens, and it's an emphasis that we really worked on in the time in between games. Obviously, it benefited us a lot. It freed up our guards, and it freed up our big guys. They're starting to understand the better screen they set, the more chance they're going to be open because their man has to help with the ball. And we took advantage of that, and it really executed very, very well.
How much does that take?
What can coaches do to develop more consistency?
Just keep repetition. It's the biggest thing, and just working on it daily.
How much does that pick and roll sort of take advantage of what Alex can do well when he decides to do it the way you want it done?
When Alex sets a screen, or anybody for that matter, it makes it a lot better. But he was aggressive. He came out of the pick and rolls. Tyler and the other guards did a good job finding him when he was open. Then he made easy, quick, decisive plays.
It seemed like on those pick and rolls, Tyler, he delivered the ball at the right time.
Mm-hmm.
How much of a skill is that? Not for the guard to know when to deliver the ball and get that proper angle.
Huge skill, and it's we don't have to teach Tyler a whole lot. He's one of the smartest players that I've been around in my 27, 28 years of coaching. He helps us sometimes, but he just has a great feel for that. You're shocked when he doesn't make the right read, and doing it and playing a majority of the minutes every game. It's quite impressive.
Is the pick and roll action that you guys ran, is that at all a substitute for the traditional low post set, get the ball? Does it create the around the basket action?
No, it doesn't. It's going to be out on the floor more. We wanted to try to get them moving to go into an action like that instead of just having to set defense. And I think that worked very well the last game. But we wanted, it is another way to get it to the post, but it's not a mud wrestling match down there. It's you got to play somebody with the ball.
John, how much was the improvement the other day based on just quite simply effort?
I would say that it was pretty strong. Something that we emphasized quite a bit. Energy. But we've had that in practice, but they focused on it. We got off to a good start, which I think was important as well. And you could sense that they understood what they had to do to start the game and to win on the road.
Is that a big problem for all college teams, making sure that the effort is there every single night?
Well, I think it's like that in absolutely every sport that's played. just, sometimes with kids, it's a little bit tougher, and going on the road and trying to get that first true road win, that was important for these young kids. Because as much as you can talk about it and playing at Kentucky and every game, they're not gonna have a crowd like that again the rest of the year. It was a great crowd with them not being in school, and the national championship game tonight, there were a lot of people that weren't even in town. But, I think that's true with everybody.
Was that a significant game for Isaiah's confidence? He'd been sort of struggling to just see shots go down, and they started falling for him a little bit.
He's working his tail off. I can tell you that. And sure, I mean, when you see the ball go through the net, it lifts not only your spirits, but the spirits of your teammates as well. It's just like, for instance, to start the game, Alex, made 4, 5, 6 free throws in a row to start as he got off to a good start. And that just, lifts everybody.
John, a couple of the guys, Isaiah being one, struggling at the free throw line. How do the coaches try to handle
Ask Tyler.
working on that without making too much of an issue of it?
I mean, again, it is what it is. It's not like he doesn't want to make them. They're just not falling for him, and he knows that he has to work on it. It's different being in our practice gym as it is being in Coleman Coliseum with 16,000 people there, however many were there, 13,000. But I just have a feeling that kid's going to make it when it really matters.
What gives you that feeling?
Just have a feel.
Just the competitor in him.
Yeah, I mean, he wants to be on the court, and he knows that he has to perform that task better, and we need him on the court.
How about Marcus? What feeling do you have about him in terms of making them when it matters?
I'll tell you what, again, when he's shooting them in practice, they look great. And he works on it. Maybe it's a little bit mental, but if they can just make their fair share of them, then better than what they are now. Obviously, it'll make us a better team.
Have you ever had a guy or seen a guy? Prisco was a good free throw shooter in high school. I mean, like 75%, I think. Drop off that dramatically. I think 40 percentage points from high school to.
I don't know how many high schools keep actual stats, too.
That's probably true.
So, I mean, that means I was 90.
That's a fair point.
No, I mean, I've read what has been written about it, and it's just one of those things. He's just not shooting them as well. All we want both of them to do is shoot the ball straight. If you shoot a straight shot, it has a chance to go in. If it's left or right, it has absolutely no chance. And that's all we're asking these kids to do, and we have a chance to rebound the ball if, in fact, they do miss.
When it's left or right, does that mean they're moving it this way as they're shooting it? Or why?
No, it's not that they're moving, the ball's moving right or left. It's like,
I guess
a
I'm
golfer,
asking
a
why
golfer
is
hooking it or
the ball
slicing
going
it. It could be, it's obviously the movement in your hand somehow coming off one way or another.
There was an old NBA player that used to shoot jump shots from the free throw line. Have y'all
Who was that?
him?
Al Greer.
There you go. I just want to make sure you know.
Marshall.
Yeah. You suggest that to?
No, I mean, the less motion, the better.
Yeah, that's a test.
It's just, keeping everything still and that's the way that we teach it. And it's just a repetition thing for our guys.
What do you think of their mechanics, Isaiah and Marcus at the line?
When they shoot it straight, it's great. It's just keeping everything tight, keeping everything compact, and eventually they're going to go in. And we all believe that. Teammates do, coaches do. So we'll see what happens.
And what about Mississippi State, John? What challenges do they present?
You know what? Gavin Ware is probably, of the teams I've seen on film so far, I would say he's probably one of the top 1 or 2 most improved players in this entire league. I haven't seen everybody yet, but without question, him and Obasahan from Alabama. But this kid is a horse down low. He goes and gets the ball offensively off the glass. He's developed a 15 to 17-foot jump shot that you have to play him out. Creates great angles at the rim. They've been playing a little bit more zone lately here, especially in conference. Coach Highland is typically a man-to-man coach. You can see their zone getting better, but they have guys that can score. Malik Newman is playing much better after coming off an injury early to his toe. Terrific scoring guard that we recruited. They can put the ball in the basket and play the combination. But I really like their first 5 and 6 guys. It's an older team with a bunch of seniors on it that started the season off very well, and they're giving people trouble. They took A&M all the way to the wire the other day, so we're gonna have to be ready for a hungry team coming in here.
Couple more guys. When you guys were at Memphis, you went against Coach Allen's team several times. When he's got his team playing the way he wants them to play, what do they look like? What are their strengths?
Russell Westbrook, Kevin Love.
A little different situation.
That helps. No, you're always going to find that his teams are going to grind, hang their hat defensively, want to play a slower tempo offensively, play the game in the low 60s would be a typical stat line for Coach Highland's teams. But very fundamentally sound, very sound defensively. I'm sure that he's not used to coaching zone, so this is an adjustment for him, just like it would be for us. And he's made great inroads in recruiting, so I mean he's getting it rolling down the Starkville.
A lot of people thought Malik Newman was going to end up here. Do you think this might be a special one for him? You have to pay particular.
You can ask him tomorrow. I mean, he's a great kid and great family, and we recruited the heck out of him. It's tough saying no to your home state team or one of them. And he's having a good year. He's getting better. He's shooting the ball better. Playing him a little bit more at point guard, which is something that he wanted to do, and he's going to have a solid rest of the year. That's for sure.
All right, guys, got any rubs in practice?
Thanks.